LeBron James. And then the GOAT walked in. I mean, he's just so much to be said.
给我狗叫，给我狗。
I'm gooning to LeBron.
LeBron James, LeBron's Jade. Ain't no party like a Diddy party. But learning about the different eras he was in, like Cleveland and in the Miami villain era, back to Cleveland and now with the Lakers, and playing with his son Bronny, grunting with satisfaction. Man has a whole legacy and then some. You know how this affects LeBron's legacy. But my favorite parts about LeBron's is like when he acts all goofy, like the screen like, LeBron, your reaction to being the oldest player in the NBA. And it's like, LeBron is just a funny dude. He has like a bit of controversies. Like one time he beefed with a guy on the subway.
What's good? I don't know this dude right here. He tripping.
LeBron, I just want you to know that I'm coming for you, okay?
It's like, this is the most random ass beef. You know, one thing I regret is not getting the Fortnite LeBron skin. Like, he even has like the Taco Tuesday with it too. And Space Jam. You know, I never watched Space Jam, but like, why is he infatuated with Taco Tuesday? I don't know, I find that really silly. Like, he just really likes tacos. Taco Tuesday! Does anyone else have the obsession with like celebrities and food? I know probably a lot of people do. It sounds so like, already if this isn't parasocial enough, but like, what's the deal with celebrities and airplane food? 1738. The first crossover between the WWE and NBA this video is when LeBron wore the Undertaker shirt. So LeBron in his rookie year attended WWE Raw, if I'm not mistaken, or WrestleMania. I think it's Raw, and I think it's Raw. Anyways, rookie LeBron attended a WWE event. You know, he's really into it, and then one day he wore an Undertaker shirt. Now the Undertaker saw this and he's like, oh, LeBron's a fan of me, I gotta go meet him. So after a game, the Undertaker, dressed up in the Undertaker outfit, goes over, tries to meet LeBron, and LeBron's like, refuses to go to see him. Like, you have the Undertaker, this man in outfit, going to an NBA game, and then afterwards trying to meet you, and you're like, nah. Like, what? That's funny as hell. I don't know. Anyways, let's talk about the other GOAT, John Cena. You know, that prank call is like, now they're using an AI thumbnail. Y'all seen that? It's pretty sad, isn't it? Everyone probably knows him as like the PG era guy, the all like Marine Corps and type, but it's really funny watching like his thug era. He's really in the rap. I think that was like pretty funny, like learning, like I knew about it, but like I didn't really know about it, you know? Like, man's got bars. Like, my exposure to John Cena was the Fred movie. I mean, like, Fred's dad is like the perfect role for him, so like, shout out.
You can't see me.
Oh, everyone knows like Bing Chillin, Bing Chillin, Lao Gama, and all that. But are you sure about that? The man is great. Peacemaker, getting nude at the Oscars, Golden Globes. I don't know. What is it with humiliation rituals? And I don't know. This is probably another topic. But there's also like LeBron. You know that image of like LeBron in like the maid dress? That's also AI. Another thing written by AI. But like, I don't know. Is there a thing as a humiliation ritual? I don't know. I'm unsure. I don't know this. I don't know that. Are you sure about that? Are you sure? Anyways, yeah, John Cena does a lot of the Make-A-Wish foundations, which is a cool fact. I mean, you probably knew that. John Cena does Make-A-Wish, the most Make-A-Wishes. Did you know that LeBron has an I Promise school as well? Which gets clowned a lot on the Circle Jerk subreddit. That's also one thing. I've just been browsing around Jerk Reddit. I've just been jerking around. I've just been... But I have John Cena's Fortnite skin, but it's technically not really rare. Like, LeBron's is rare, but I have John Cena's. You know, it's like, damn. One thing I think the NBA should adopt is like finisher moves. Like, you know, Steph Curry has like his sleeper emote, and LeBron James has like the silencer emote and all that. But one thing really cool about the WWE is their finisher moves. Like WWE's attitude, John Cena's attitude adjustment. It's just a really cool move. It's kind of like an F5, which I'll talk about later, but the attitude adjustment is really cool. And it was originally called the FU, which adds into like John Cena's thug persona. And then they had to change it because of the PG era. Attitude adjustment's a more iconic name, but the FU is like, damn, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah. So, you know, should the NBA allow finisher moves? Yes or no? Also, I need female John Cena so bad. Like, I need her bad. Oh, man. You know what I'm saying? I need her so bad. So bad. It's so hard out here. It's hard. We talked about the GOATs, but let's talk way back, the OG GOATs. Now, there's Bruce Sammartino and Wilt Chamberlain. They're like the old. I don't know much about them. I only know that Will had like a cool ass free throw line or free throw dunk where you like toss against the backboard and like dunk that shit. And then they had to change the rules because of that. But did you know that they were also like born in the same year too? Not born, but like born a year apart, and then they started their careers started their careers in the same year. So I think that was a cool fun fact. But let's talk about Hulk Hogan and Michael Jordan, because those are like the predecessors in a way. Let's start with Hulk Hogan, because why not? Now, Hulk Hogan, a lot of controversy nowadays, involved with the MAGA crowd. He's got his Real American beard going on, got a new wife and all that good stuff. But I don't know, learning about Hulk Hogan, I was like, dang, his NWO area was really cool. I think that was pretty cool. Oh, also, a connection with the WWE and Hulk Hogan is Dennis Rodman. Speaking of like Michael Jordan's teammate, Dennis Rodman was really into the WWE, so much so that during one of the finals practice, he skipped to go and spend time with Hulk Hogan in like a event. He's like, wow, you are an NBA star. You just shouldn't play WWE if you needed any more. See, that's the thing. I was like, when you look into it, there's just like a lot of connections between the two, more so than any other sports. So I thought that was really cool. But yeah, back to Hulk Hogan. I pretty much only knew him for three things. His pasta image, his leg drop, Hulk Hogan. Like, what a finisher, man. The leg drop. Sometimes it would hurt, apparently. And then the third thing is his ERB, Epic Rap Battles of History. I don't know. I've been more like a Macho Man Randy Savage. Macho Man Randy. Macho Man Randy Savage? Man, why am I? Anyways, I don't know. I just ate Slim Jims every day as a kid, so, shout out to those commercials. Probably not a good snack every day as a kid, but, man, what are you gonna, Slim Jims are awesome, man. So, Epic Rap Battles of History. Oh, and, they had the Epic Rap Battles of History with Kim Jong-un, too. Kim Jong-un, who's besties with Dennis Rodman. Whoa, crazy world. Anyway, let's talk Michael Jordan, Joe Gambler. A lot of controversy with Michael Jordan. Probably wouldn't want to meet him with the picture and all that, but I really like his shoes. I might make a video on that later on. His shoes are amazing. It's really, I feel like I know more about the man's shoes rather than the man himself. Like, yeah, he won the rings, he won the champion, he's got the killer drive. It's crazy seeing him play with the floaty and the goblin. The goblin. Epic Rap Battles of History. Anyways, but one thing I really like about Michael Jordan is his baseball career, which, like, what? But I think it's just so inspiring. His dad died in a terrible tragedy, and then Michael, to fulfill his father's wishes and dreams, goes to play baseball, and he gives his everything to it. Like, this man's already an accomplished NBA player, probably the best ever, if not, yeah, he is the best ever anyways. Anyway, so he goes and plays baseball, and he trains his ass off. Like, he works every day and night, and he finally gets in like semi-professional, and everyone's clowning on him. Oh, he's not that good. He's a Jordan. You thought you'd be the GOAT, but like, learning how to play two sports is difficult as hell. Excuse me. I think it's more inspirational, his baseball career, than his basketball, because like, you want to be like Michael in basketball, but it's like, it's kind of impossible. But you have Michael Jordan, this guy who's already great at basketball, and he shows like putting in the hard work, give me dedication, you can get somewhere in baseball. Like, he didn't, like, if he put more years and probably started early, he probably could have played professional baseball and probably not been the best like he was in basketball, but he could have been somewhere. That to me is like, damn, that shit low-key inspirational, more than the flu game, more than the killer drive, more than the dunks and all that. Hulk Hogan and Michael Jordan, I wouldn't want to meet them in real life. I don't want them to know who I am, because they're like, they're like, it's cool what they did for the game, but I wouldn't want to meet them. As of right now, they're probably like staying a little out the limelight, and that's probably for the best. Just let your legacy cook, because you've done plenty enough, and the more you do, the more people tend to like, Let's get big. It's the big show. And he is probably one of my favorite wrestlers. Like I love the Big Show. You know what I'm saying? He's so underrated. I love the Big Show, man. You know, he has a show called The Big Show Show. I mean, if that doesn't make you love the man. And, you know, get this, The Big Show Show, isn't even his real family. Like, you couldn't get his real family for this? And it's just like some weird sitcom thing. It's like, I don't know. Out of all the opportunities, you got the perfect name right there, The Big Show Show. And you just make it like some random, I don't know, thinking about The Big Show right now. You know, his finisher is called the Big Show KO, and it's just like his punch. Like, realistically, that's what you could do, but like, I found that so fucking funny that his KO is just a punch. Man, this man deserved better. Like, Vince McMahon just forced him to like do porta potty humor and like made him heel, then made him heel and baby face, or like guys you're supposed to root for and root against for. Not technically bad guy, good guy. Maybe it's easier to think bad guy, good guys, but like. The Big Show like flip-flop between both, because you know what, like he's a big guy, you have like endless opportunities, but do you make him like a big bad guy or do you make him like a good guy? Or it's like he used to play both and you ended up just like nothing. But my man is funny as hell, and he's a really good wrestler and performer. Like one of my favorite moments is like when he slips down and steps and he's like, oh. It's like man, I love the Big Show. Man's deserved a whole lot better. And also his theme is so good. It's the Big. And you know, and then when you have like the team ups with Chris Jericho, and he has this team up with Chris Jericho. Man, that shit goes so hard. It's so peak. And Jericho. Man, they should have more team up. I love team up themes. It's crazy. But yeah, shout out to the Big Show. I love him so much. Also, another thing, one of my favorite moments is like when Vince McMahon made him go to the Republican National Convention, and you could tell this man does not want to be there. I mean, obviously, we'll talk more about Vince McMahon, but like, I just find it funny. Like, the Big Show, he just wants to wrestle or like do some other thing, like Andre the Giant in like movies. By the way, you know, Andre the Giant and Princess Bride, so like, shout out. You know, mans can drink a lot, which is crazy. I mean, you're a big man, you can drink. I wonder how much Big Show can drink. Anyways, Princess Bride. I don't know if you heard of The Princess Bride, but it's kind of a good movie. Shout out. But yeah, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Big Show at the convention. He's like, man, he is not having a good time. Also, Big Show had hair. You know, that's a bit crazy. Like, man's had locks, and then he went. I mean, the bald look is better, but like, that's also another thing. Like, NBA players are also going bald, like LeBron James and Kevin Durant. Oh, every time I see that picture of Kevin Durant, oh my God. But yeah. Anyways, let's talk about the NBA player who's most like the Big Show. Obviously, has to be Shaq. You know, barbecue bacon. Barbecue chicken alert. Barbecue chicken alert. The Shaq lantern.
The chocolate ice.
Oh man, who doesn't love the Shaq? I mean, everyone loves Shaq. You know, Shaq and Big Show were rumored to have like a showdown at one point. That would have been fucking crazy. I wish it happened. But yeah, Shaq and Big Show, you know, two sides of the same coin. Who doesn't love Shaq? Obviously. And Shaq, you know what I love about Shaq is like he used to be like kind of a big dickhead. But you know, there's like a rumor going around like he pooped in his shoe. Like, you know, what's the deal with like big men and poop? Like, everyone is fascinated. Like, man, his toilet's gonna break. Man, his toilet is like, what? It's like when you talk about anybody else's like poop, you get like strange look. Like when I say that I want to eat female John Cena's poop, I get strange looks. But then when everyone else talks about big men, like Big Shows, and anyways, and what was it? Oh yeah, poop. What? I was talking about poop. Anyways, oh, you know, really, one of my favorite clips is when Shaq is running away and like he has to poop. Oh! I was talking about what he was like a big jerk. Okay, so everyone knows about the Shaq and Kobe beef. Not everyone, but I'll talk about it later. But like, Shaq was probably in the wrong. Like, he's a lazy dude, and like his free throw, Shaq on the free throw. Like, Shaq could not shoot for shit, and it probably costed a bunch of rings because of that. But you know, Shaq got an NBA. You know, he's a good guy, but like, he probably worked a little less harder than other people to get in there. He just got him because of big size. But one thing that's really lovable about Shaq is his willingness to change. So one of my favorite stories is like when he went after the Shaq and Kobe beef down to Miami Heat. Instead of like having the big ego and getting all lazy again, he was like, okay, something's gotta change. He like mentored up or like helped out a rising superstar, and that got him his first ring outside of the Lakers. And this rising superstar is D-Wade, baby. You know, I love D-Wade. I love D-Wade, man. D-Wade is like one of my favorite players. And you know, D-Wade, you probably know from like that iconic dunk with LeBron James, like, and shout out. But all right, let me just talk about D-Wade for a little bit, because D-Wade, I'll just say one thing, like shout out to D-Wade, but my favorite thing is like recently when he was on SNL and he was dancing with Sabrina Carpenter, I was like, what are you doing? Like, what is this man doing? Anyways, a really iconic moment is like when he does like the "this is my house" thing. I don't know, he's probably looking away. What are they talking about? The Flash? Fortnite? Oh, you know, Shaq's in Fortnite. Really cool thing. Fortnite. Yeah, I don't know. Shaq, big show. Poop. Oh yeah, Shaq is a businessman. It's kind of funny. Shaq might be a professor teaching business one day. This is kind of funny. Can you imagine having Shaq as a professor? I don't know. Also, Shaq is the first Pride player? I don't know. Okay, let's talk about another NBA player who I think is really cool. Jokic, also known as Joker. Man, he is a funny dude, obviously, because he's Joker. Now, Joker is a beast, like one of the best basketball players right now. His ball IQ is insane. His balls are insane. His ball IQ is insane. Like when you see this man, he's like, he knows basketball in and out. He even like predicted one in the, like, so he was playing as the Grizzlies, Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert, and he like read them and like he knew what they were gonna do, and they were like, what? That's crazy. And seeing Jokic play is like if Shaq couldn't shoot, but like Jokic could shoot, which is crazy. But you know, Jokic can jump or whatever. One of my favorite things is like Jokic looks like, even though he really loves basketball, it looks like he really doesn't. Like he'd rather be horse racing. Like after he won the NBA finals,
The job is done, we can go home now.
he was like, ugh, I got to attend the parade.
No. I need to go home.
And it's like he'd rather be home racing horses. When you see him like celebrating horse racing trophies and all that, it's like damn. Or like him partying, doing anything else but playing basketball. He's like having the time of his life. But like in basketball, he's like, like when he hits clutches, he's like, But you know, I think it's funny. Like when he was at the parade, he's like, sorry guys, the parade is really awesome.
I want to stay on parade. This is the best.
Like, yeah, but I think it's funny when like this year at the playoffs, he like locked in and he dressed up as like the Joker, and then the another time he was dressed up as Gru. I thought that was funny. Like, what are you doing? Oh yeah, shout out to like another one of his teammates, Aaron Gordon. Like I didn't know who he was because I was looking at Nuggets player and I was like, who is Aaron Addison Gordon? And he looks like a custom character I would make. And it's like, what? And then he hit like those clutches threes like the next day after I knew about him. It's like, wow. Also, he has some really crazy dunks. So you know, but yeah, that's Jokic.
I gotta let him have a little piece.
Who's a lot like Jokic? It would have to be the next big thing. I love Brock Lesnar. Who doesn't love Brock Lesnar?
Let's do this!
Man, Brock is fun. Like when he was debuted, he just went ballistic, you know, did a craziest F5 on Maven. You know, shout out to Maven. His YouTube videos are really fun to watch. But like his F5 finisher move, it's like the original attitude adjustment. You just big hulking guy picking you up and he's like, damn, you know. And Brock Lesnar is scary because he's like big and strong, but he's also fast too. So it's like, how do you deal with this guy? It's like you don't. He just like comes in and like rams you down. It's like, damn, you know. And his theme is insane too. It's just like boom, boom, boom. I don't know. I really like Brock Lesnar though because of Brock Party. I think it's funny, like one of my favorite moments is when he does a suplex with Big Show. It's like 500 pounds of meat just like slamming under the ring. He does a suplex and then the ring breaks. It's like, what? I love that about wrestling. It's just like you have two big guys with storylines just clashing with each other, and it just ends up in awesomeness. You know, that's what I love about NBA and WWE, because you have that with the NBA too. I forgot to mention Jokic and LeBron. You know, is completely like unrelated, but like I find it funny when like LeBron has like lives rent free in my mind when like Jokic hugging LeBron and he's just like the power transfer. It's like everyone knows probably Brock Lesnar now for like his daughter, who looked just like 1-to-1 copy. She just recently won like a shot put competition, so you know, yeah, Brock Lesnar, next big thing. Oh yeah, and also like I remember one thing that also lives rent free in my mind is like Joe Rogan is like say like, you know, if Brock Lesnar, you know, if he started in the UFC early, he could have like totally made it big. And it's like, yeah, he totally could have, and that would been fucking scary to see. But like, you know, you'd rather have like an insane WWE career, you know, like he chose the right choice. Got married to Sable, got like WWE belts, next big thing. Everyone knows Brock Lesnar. Let's talk about some more big men like Giannis Antetokounmpo. Fortnite. I don't know, Greek freak. I think it's funny that he has a really obsession with like chicken and Wingstop. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
And like taking Wingstop codes. Also like the Greek freaky. But yeah, I don't know, that's about Giannis. Also Fortnite, we have The Undertaker. Boom. It's like the only connection those two have. But like The Undertaker, I already explained about the LeBron story, but like The Undertaker is just a really cool fucking wrestler. Like when you he's just a really cool wrestler. I mean, you can't just not get hyped when you see him like, huh? Who is that? And he just comes in, wrecks shit, leaves, wreck everyone and leave. That's another wrestler, but I'll explain later. But yeah, wreck everyone and leave. Undertaker is really cool. And my favorite moment is like when he does like the Brock Lesnar laugh, like But Mark Calloway is The Undertaker, real name. You know, like, surprise, surprise, there's a lot of wrestlers use pseudo names or stage names, but yeah, Mark Calloway, Undertaker. Like, a lot of people don't like his Republican views, MAGA. Like, he said, like, I don't care about your political views, and like, we're on different sides, but just for this record, you're wrong and whatnot. And then, like, he went and supported the current president, who has a lot of ties with Vince McMahon. Might be a wrestler himself. Not to be a Debbie Downer or everything, but like, yeah, for a lot of people, it kind of like ruined it. Man, I started getting down when I started talking about the man. That's when it kind of gets down. It's like, I just want to talk about cool shit about in the ring and whatnot. But when you start to dig deeper about the person and you're like, man, I don't know about this dude anymore. You know, like when you look Hulk Hogan or like Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson. It's like, do I really want to know more about this guy? It's like, they probably do great things, but it's like, there's a lot I disagree with. So why can't I agree with anything? Does it really matter and whatnot? Who cares? He's just The Undertaker. He's just really cool and whatnot. Like when he does that eye thing and whatnot. He's the first gimmick character. And wasn't it really cool when he like went out with the Limp Bizkit and whatnot? Fred Durst. You know, I wish I didn't have to like think about the man behind The Undertaker. But when you always like think in the back of your mind, it's like, damn. Triple H. It's kind of funny. This man, Triple H, his real name is like super hella long. It's like supposed to be like a regal rich man. That's how he started. Because a lot of heels, first heel actually ever started, was supposed to be represent the rich. And you were supposed to like root against the rich people. Wrestling obviously is popular with the working class. Wrestling was a way to like get back at the man, you know. And this has been like a trend that's going on for ages and ages. It's a bit ironic, all things considered now. Especially now when you have like Triple H at the head of the realm. When he was started as like a rebellion leader, you know, he was like one of the guys going against the system, and now he's like the system. He was the game. I don't know. It's really funny. Like this, just he reminds me of a wildebeest, just this giant walking, spitting wildebeest. But I think he's one of the craziest finisher moves. The pedigree. Man, that shit is insane, bro. Like, I don't want to be caught talking dead next to the Triple H. Man, it's so intimidating. He has a "the" in front of his name. Like, usually the pedigree, that shit is insane. There's a really cool video detailing about Triple H's history and all that, his rise to fame, and that's where female John Cena is. God damn, man. God damn. Let's talk about the new gen. Roman Reigns, head of the bloodline. That's like probably the most famous wrestler right now, besides another wrestler I'll talk about in a minute. But Roman Reigns, really cool. I pretty much just like him for the spear. I think it's really funny when he's like Wolverine, like just jumping. I think that's really funny. Also, one of my favorite moments is when he accidentally says the N word and he's like, oops. It's like,
A rock or something, maybe.
yeah, I feel that, man. But yeah, he almost became one of the longest reigning wrestlers. Wrestling is fake and all that. I know. But I think it's really cool. You know, Triple H, man behind the storylines, you know, for all his flaws, knows how to make a good script, although some people say otherwise right now. Partially true. I don't want to get into it. Anyway, Cody Rhodes, Fortnite. Shout out to Cody Rhodes. I don't know. It sounds like I don't like the guy. I really like the guy. It's just I find anything difficult to talk to. It hasn't already been said. Everyone already says something about Cody Rhodes, and it's all true, you know. Shout out to Cody. Oh, I think, if I'm not mistaken, when Cody and Jey Uso, I think they were having a press conference, and they're just giggling as hell. I don't know. I think that's like an underrated moment, I guess. But let's go back to NBA, because God, you're gonna hate me for this, but the NBA player who represents most like Roman Reigns has to be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I feel nasty saying that out loud. It's true though, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'm not writing this. I'm saying this before the finals have concluded, but if it's true, then if he wins, then it adds to my point. Recently won MVP this year, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he in the OKC squad. Like, Roman Reigns has his bloodline, but Shai has like OKC squad, and like the OKC squad is like, man, it's like this, they feel like a Disney movie. Like this feels like some custom characters. Like what are we doing here? Like you got Chet Holmgren, and he's got to be like the stupidest player in match, almost the stupidest. Like he kind of like dumb goofy, but then you have like Tyler Harrow, who's like actually stupid, and then you have Kyrie Irving, who's like dangerously stupid, but like, I mean, yeah, Chet Holmgren, and then you have Alex Caruso. Yeah, I find his mugshot really funny. He played on the Lakers before. They're like, bald man, bald. Alex Caruso. You know, it's funny because like he guarded Jokic in the playoffs this year, but like, why would you have Alex Caruso guard Jokic when you have a guy named Nikola Topic on your team? Why don't you have Nikola Topic guard Nikola Jokic? Who's fucking creating the NBA? Adam Silver. I'll talk about him later. Adam Silver. But you know, I'm just talking about him. Adam Silver. Like, what are you fucking doing? Like Adam Silver, Vince McMahon was a villain in the WWE, but Adam Silver kind of lays it back. But it's like, everyone just used that photo of him like, Adam Silver, what do you do? Anyways, what am I talking about? Oh yeah, why the fuck OKC like that? And I didn't even get to the worst of it. You have two guys named Jalen Williams on your teams. Like, what the fuck? You're like, you cannot make this shit up. Okay, see, what the fuck is the team? He's like, damn. You know, shout out to Jalen though, first NBA player. Everyone just fucking goofs on him for his like goofy smile. Number one, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander Glazer. But yeah, and also like Jalen do like the most zestiest TikToks. You know, they're having fun. We're the new generation of NBA players. Where the WWE has like the hardest and like toughest guys. Now you got like the OKC squad. You know, it's like really funny comparing the OKC squad to what it's, because like the OKC is like one of the newest, if not the newest, NBA team, which started out with Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook. He's like, damn, now you went to this. But one team won a ring, or will ring. So yeah, I didn't even get to one more comparison, which is, so Paul Heyman, he like sponsors certain wrestlers like Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns most recently. So, you know, you have like an inside guy who's like supporting wrestlers, but then for OKC you have Scott Foster, the extender. A lot of controversy comes from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander being like the free throw merchant. He's just like the whistle and all that, because a lot of people like, you can't touch him or otherwise you get a foul. And if you don't touch him, you'll still get fouled and he'll get like free points and whatnot. And like a lot of people doubt his greatness. And like when you see some of the clips, it's like, yeah. Also like Shea, it looks like he really doesn't like playing basketball. Like when you look at his image, it's like, damn, what are you so mad about? Why is this man so mad? And then when you look at him playing, he's like, he has the most goofy ass faces playing. It's like, damn. And maybe that's why people don't want to touch him. But yeah, Shea, gorgeous Alexander. It's a fun name to say. You know, I'll bring up Scott later because he has a beef with like one player in particular, and I find that so funny that one player and him have like the most immense beef ever. Like, I don't know, I'll save it for later, but let's talk about the other player who might win the finals, Tyrese Hallebert, or also known as Halaban. You know, I watched a lot of Parks and Recs, so I was like really familiar with like Indiana basketball all of a sudden, shrimp deadlift and all that. But I don't know, I find that funny that OKC, a team from the middle of nowhere, and now like Indiana Pacers also. Caitlin Clark, Queen. To be honest though, I'm more of like a Sophie Cunningham type person, you know what I'm saying? Eddie Lexi Holler's out there. Who was I talking about? Oh yeah, Tyrese Hallebert.
Was it Halliburton?
I don't know. People didn't really give a swag about him beforehand. Now he might get close to the ring, so everyone pretty much knew him as Snow Bunny Hallebert.
Snow Bunny Halliburton versus Snow Bunny Gildress Alexander. Snow Bunny Halliburton versus Snow Bunny Gildress Alexander.
Another big name is Anthony Edwards, who is part of the aforementioned Timberwolves. Now, Anthony Edwards is rumored. Everyone just keeps saying he's the face of the league, Yet, I don't know. He's kind of funny though. Send the video. He's pretty much known as send the video guy. Send the video. But he got in trouble this year for like saying my meat is bigger than yours, and like tugging his meat in front of a player. He's like, or not player, a fan. Like tugging his meat in front of a fan. Like, man, this is the face of the NBA. He's really funny. That was funny. I don't know. Everyone I say is funny. Funny this, funny that, funny this. Probably not a good person. He had a lot of baby mamas, and then also like there was also the big controversy of like, damn, that's a lot of, you know. But kind of funny because I want to talk about like another player, KarlAnthony Towns, who played with the Timberwolves before he got traded. But KarlAnthony Towns and Anthony Edwards are like besties, they're like brothers. And it's really funny because a lot of people see Anthony Edwards as like probably homophobic, even though clarified he's not. Probably believe he's not. But you have KarlAnthony Towns, who's like the zestiest king in the NBA right now. They really did. Angie alert. But I find it funny, like the dichotomy between the two. It's like wrestling, you know, like Chris Jericho and Big Show. Like a cat, KarlAnthony Towns. He's a beast. It's really fun watching him play and whatnot. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, he's just Dominican Republic, guys. He's not zesty. He's just Dominican Republic. Y'all seen that Key and Peele skit? He's a good guy, KarlAnthony Towns. I heard, like, he's supported a lot. He's done a lot for the community and all that.
After all that,
But fun fact, KarlAnthony Towns, he went to like basketball camp and he like absolutely dominated. Another player who was there was Nikola Jokic. You know, isn't that kind of funny? Like Nikola Jokic and KarlAnthony Towns played against each other, and we could have had that this year. We could have had that this year, but now we got bummed middle of nowhere OKC Pacers. Yeah. Anyways, KarlAnthony Towns now is on the New York Knicks, but there's one man responsible for the New York Knicks entirely, and that is Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson's story is pretty cool. Trained all his life, moved around, underrated, and now he's like supporting the team he grew up with, and for his father played too. But like, I don't know, I just know Jalen Brunson because he kind of looks like Bella Ramsey. Shout out to Bella Ramsey and Hilda, but like, damn, Last of Us 2 kind of like, anyways, Jalen Brunson. I don't know. I just keep thinking about Timothée Chalamet and Ben Stiller at the Knicks bench. Did you know that some celebrities, I think, get free treatment for attending Knicks games? All they have to do is just show up and then like get recorded and all that. Maybe that's why Ben Stiller and Timothée Chalamet go, even though Timothée Chalamet's been going as a kid and whatnot. Like, what's the deal with him and Kylie? I don't know what's going on there. I don't know. Bolo tie. Anyways, Isan Al-Gib. Oh yeah, Jalen Brunson. You know, there's a lot of players named Jalen. Jalen Williams. And then you also have Jalen Brown. They think they're the Wizards, but they know where the real magic is. No Harry Potter.
They the magic, but they know who really got the magic over here. Ooh, I like that. No Harry Potter.
What? It's like, the Celtics are the corniest team ever. But, you know, I like Jalen and his, probably, you know, star player teammates story. You know, like Jalen Brunson, Jalen Brown was underrated, and then they got drafted. And now they got a ring. Not Jalen Brunson, Jalen Brown, of course. But you probably know his more famous teammate, or infamous, is Jason Tatum.
We did it. We did it!
Oh man, if I had to pick a ground zero for like my interest in the NBA this year, it'd probably just be Jason Tatum copying everyone compilation. Because man, it's like, what is this man doing? Like, this man, he won a ring. He got so much aura, and yet he is the least auraful person ever. But like, yeah, everyone's clowning on him. It's a bit much. Recently, he had like his Achilles torn, and he was wheeled out on a wheelchair, and everyone's just clowning because like, yet again, he's copying like another player, Paul Pierce. And you know, like Paul Pierce, like when he was on a wheelchair, and like everyone thought he like, he started the rumor that he pooped his pants, and now he denies it. Like, again, what the poop thing? Why is everyone talking about poop? Like, what the poop? But Paul Pierce poop? Anyways. Jason Tatum. I don't know. Also, there's a picture with Jason Tatum and KarlAnthony Towns. But anyways, Jason Tatum. You know, everyone clowns on Jason Tatum too much, but like, you don't want to be like the Jason Tatum meat writer, I guess. You know, this man has a son named Deuce. Again, what's with the poop thing? You have a son named Poop? What? Anyways, I really like Jason Tatum for one thing and one thing only, and that's his Subway commercial with bacon.
My sub has bacon.
I don't know, I just keep replaying that commercial over and over. I think it's funny as hell.
I'm just talking about subs here.
But you know who else appears in there? That's right, #1 flagrant fouler, Draymond Green.
Why would you say that, Jason? Melty cheese.
My sub has bacon.
They're trying to portray me as an angry black man. You know, Draymond Green, it's like, he's like an enigma. It's like, when you read his like thing, it's like, he's probably a good person, loving wife, NBA finals winners, back-to-back, something like that. Maybe it's true they're trying to portray him as an angry black man, but then you still remember, he's still got the #1 flagrant fouls in the league. You know, hurting everyone he comes into contact with. Like, minute 1, he's choking out Rudy Gobert for no, like if Klay Thompson and I think McDaniels got into a fight, and Rudy Gobert comes in, tries to stop it, and Draymond just jumps in like, ah, and chokes him out. Like, there's minute 1. Like, what's everyone doing? What is Draymond doing? Yeah. And then like he's stepping on Saboner. It's like, damn, somebody stop Draymond. I don't know. I really want to like Draymond, because you know, man seems like he really has passion, but then you still remember, like, he punched a rookie in the face. He's like, he is an angry black guy. But I think he would do well in the WWE. One of my favorite moments is just when he's like, he took photos of like a WWE belt. He was like, look at him stand there. Also, do you remember when Chris Rock had to stand up when he was coming back from the Will Smith slap and he started dissing Draymond Green for no reason? And he's like, you know, like, go off, King. But it's like, why Draymond Green? What'd he do? I mean, it's kind of deserved, but like,
Is this a Steph Curry, baby? Or a Draymond Green, baby? That Draymond baby gonna have a hard life.
another one of my favorite Draymond moments is him dancing with LeBron. Like, he's the #1 LeBron glazer. Like, you expect like him to be #1 rivals, but like he can't just stop glazing LeBron. And then now you have like this photo of him dancing. Like, anyways. You know, I've been watching a little bit of NBA talks every now and then. You know, we have like a Stephen A. Smith and all that. Charizard. Charmander.
Shamander.
But like, one moment that still sticks in my head is like,
Jason Tatum is the Kobe Bryant of Paul George's.
And it's like, what? It's like Podcast P. Now, I don't know much about Podcast P besides that he has a podcast and that he's the Paul God. But one thing I do want to talk about is who's bowing to the Paul God, which is CP3. Chapo. CP3. Now, he and another player are like the two players who desperately want a ring. Now, learn about CP3 is like, damn, you know, give this man a ring already. He's close when he was with the Suns, but like, he grew up. I don't know. I like his growing up story. It's kind of like inspiring in a way. Inspiring. He seems like he'd be a good guy. He's the president of the Players Association and all that. But like, as aforementioned before, he's the player that has the beef with Scott Foster. Like, out of everyone you could have beef with, you have beef with the referee, Scott Foster? It's like, what? It's like, it's personal. A lot of people hate Chris Paul because of his attitude. He complains a lot and he plays dirty and all that. If somebody says they hate a player, it's probably because they play dirty. Like a lot of people why they hate Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is because, oh, he draws a lot of foul, or why they hate Draymond Green is because he plays dirty and whatnot. And same for Chris Paul, although it's much less to extent. But people often point that to the reason why he doesn't have a ring. It's like, why doesn't he have a ring? It's because he plays like shit, you know? It's like harsh, but like, damn. Braun said it best when basketball is a team sport. Like, how could you have not won with you and Luka out there? And it's like, you gotta remember, there's 8 other people. I'm not saying like deflecting blame, but you know, it's a team game and all that. I think, quote unquote, what LeBron said. But yeah, when you look at Chris Paul, he's like undersized, and that's inspiring. Like, damn, undersized NBA player. He like me, for real. But like, he's like unintimidating. Paul George's. I think another NBA was saying, like, player was saying like how when you look at Chris Paul, he's not really like one person you lose sleep over. Like if you're facing Steph Curry, you're like, damn, I gotta prepare everyone off. I gotta prep against Steph Curry. But now when you're prepping against Chris Paul, it's like, man, I can eat a couple Oreos, you know? Lay off the Oreos.
No more Oreos. You're not eating Oreos anymore. No more Oreos for either of us.
Yeah, so Chris Paul really isn't somebody you'd be intimidated with. And then when you have like Kanye, it's like, this is the man Kim cheated with. They're like, what is going on? Like, Chris Paul? What? It's like goofy as hell. Yeah, it's Kanye. So another player who desperately wants a ring and was close this year, and that would have been great, is Russell Westbrook. Again, same issues, but much less to an extent. I don't know, maybe. Like, from what I've seen, Russell Westbrook is like a supporting kind of player. Like, he might have had those in the past. Probably why he didn't win a ring. But like, from what I see, like him like hyping up the Nuggets bench is like, yeah, you know, shout out, man, Russell, he needs his ring. But then like, he did like kind of throw some things too, or throw some games as well. And a lot of people got mad. He's like, damn, the hate against Russell Westbrook is like, it's a little extra compared to like other NBA players. Like, Russell Westbrook can't take his own son to a game because of fear of what people will say. It's like, damn, like, man has an iconic name, iconic fashion, but because of that, not because of that, but everyone just clowns on him because it's really funny just to like make up shit like Russell Westbrook or shit like that. So my camera died in this point of the video, which kind of sucks. So I'll just kind of reiterate the final sayings I was gonna say. Talked about Kevin Durant. He like me, for real, no bitches. Hit the beef with Russell Westbrook, which was why I was talking about him next. But Warriors lost to the Cavaliers, so they signed Durant to make the super team, the 2016 Warriors, the best team ever. But Durant left Russell Westbrook behind in OKC, so that's why it had like such an immense beef back then. Also, James Harden was part of that trio, as mentioned before. He left earlier. I only know him, not know him, like I only... the only moment I remember him for is like when he tosses a ball at the floor and it hits him back in the face. Like, that was real as fuck. But yeah, there's also Jimmy Butler. I don't know, you could tell I'm just like tired as fuck. I was kind of like whimsy while recording this, and Jimmy Butler again, and then Luka, and then on and on. And I'll move on to wrestling. I talk about The Rock, and there's so much to talk about with The Rock. So much that has like been said before. I didn't know what else to say about him, so I just mentioned like the pancakes. Like, you know, I really love the pancake image. You know, like during middle school and high school, I used to keep like a folder of pictures of just The Rock, just like a lot of like the funny images he had, because there was so much back then. So it was really funny just like Photoshop him and everything. But yeah, It's The Rock, I guess. Can you smell what the... I used to say that so much in fucking middle school and high school. Or maybe even elementary. Or just like, can you smell what The Rock is cooking? I always liked that he could do the eyebrow things. Like, I can't raise one of my eyebrows, but I could raise the other one. Just like him. I was like, just like him, for real, for real. I don't know if it's on the same side or not. It's my right eyebrow I could raise. Man, you could tell that I'm like tired. I was like re-editing this video. I was like, damn. I was a bit shaky at the beginning, but after a while, it's like kind of warmed up. If you've gotten this far, congrats to you. You get to hear like maybe a little behind the veil, I guess. Because man, it took forever just to get to this point. I thought this would be like a quick video, but I clearly underestimated because it was supposed to release right before finals, and now it's maybe a couple days after. So I don't want to gripe too much at the end, even though I kind of did. Talk about Edge. You think you know me?
You think you know me?
JPEG Mafia. There's a controversy where he and another wrestler, Lita, did like a kind of like pseudo sex thing, and they didn't want to do it. Like Lita didn't want to do it, and then Edge objected to it. Even John Cena was like, I don't want them to do this, but Vince McMahon forced everyone. And that's like a problem you see, Vince McMahon forcing a whole lot of like crazy wacky shit. Like one time he had like a holy shit, sorry. Damn. One time he had like a pregnancy storyline with his daughter. Like it made you think that he made his daughter pregnant. Man, there's so much to talk about with like Vince McMahon, just like controversies. There's even like so much to talk about The Rock. Like I barely mentioned him like this far in the video. You're probably thinking like, where's The Rock at? I haven't even like used like a single reaction thing or like mentioned him at all. You know, The Rock is in like a lot of controversies nowadays, but there used to be a time where he was like almost untouchable, you know? I remember those days. Yeah, I like Jumanji. Low-key, Jumanji is a good movie. I try to watch like the original Jumanji, and I'm a level with you. I don't think I've ever finished like a Robin Williams movie like through and through. Maybe Aladdin, but like it was kind of like fragmented. Like every single Robin Williams movie, I like watched either halfway or like the last half, or, like beginning half, and yada yada yada. I don't know. Robin Williams wasn't like my childhood like star growing up. It was like Brendan Fraser in the Looney Tunes movies. So yeah, I grew up with Looney Tunes, the movie. It's Rey Mysterio in Short King. Man, as a kid, I loved his mask, and I like booyaka booyaka. Rey Mysterio. From watching him wrestles, it's so different from everyone else, where they kind of like strength. He uses like a lot of acrobatics. Everyone knows probably about the humping thing. It's a funny segment. I forget what it's called, like Bull Rider or something. It's kind of like a crazy move. Speaking of crazy moves, Randy Orton, RKO. Man, remember that? Oh, I feel old talking about it. RKO out of nowhere. Recently though, he had the match with Joe Hendry at what is it? It's WrestleMania. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Joe Hendry is a AEW, I think, champ. Like AEW is like a separate thing from WWE, so it's cool they're kind of like merging together in a way. I don't know. There was another AEW wrestler that's pretty famous. It was who was it? It was, oh yeah, MJF. Yeah, MJF's probably the most famous AEW wrestler, in my opinion. I think it's like a extreme heel. You ever seen him like turn it off the persona? So then talk about Stone Cold Steve Austin. Man, I wish I had that recording still, but man, Stone Cold Steve Austin, just amazing. Like there's that thing with the milk. It's hella funny. That's when he's fighting with Booker T in a grocery store. That itself could be like dissected through and through. It's such a funny scene. It's unbelievable. The entire thing was improv. You just have Stone Cold and Booker T just smashing everything in a grocery store. It's just a complete beatdown. Like it is a cinematic masterpiece that rivals like a lot of action scenes in movies. And God, it's perfect, from the like the diaper to the mustard, the milk, and yeah, the whole thing is just amazing. And yeah, I mean, I love Stone Cold for, like, you know, riding an ATV, Austin 316, beer, all that good stuff. What? And then, like, he had a time with, like, beefing with Vince McMahon. That was pretty cool. Attitude Era is often regarded as the best wrestling time. Obviously, I wasn't alive back then, so I just have to, like, relive it through clips. But I could see why it's kind of cool. I like the Kurt Angle Stone Cold clip. That one's also pretty funny. But yeah, if you don't like Stone Cold, probably not a fan of wrestling. Honestly, he's just that cool of a wrestler. My favorite match, probably one of the greatest matches of wrestling, just pure wrestling, is him with Bret Hart. That match is absolutely incredible. I like Bret Hart. Bret Hart's a cool wrestler. Everyone, I keep saying everyone, but there was the Montreal Screwjob where back then there was like a bunch of like wrestling networks infighting. It's like wrestlers would switch between networks back and forth. So Bret Hart was going to switch over, but he was going to still remain as a champ. But before that, HBK, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, they kind of screwed him over. Hence the name Screwjob, because it cheated. He was supposed to kick off, but they counted early, and then Shawn Michaels won, and then Bret Hart, you know, furious as hell because he literally screwed him over. So yeah, old school sports were crazy back then. Now it's a bit like clean in a way, you know, like you can't have controversies everywhere, even though controversies kind of drove the sport. So, you know, talking about controversies, there's one more person I want to talk about, and that's Kobe Bryant. I mentioned also, man, I could just talk about him like a lot, because he used to be my favorite basketball player as a kid. Like, everyone knew as a kid when he tossed like a paper in the trash can, you know, he's like, Kobe. And for other personal reasons too, I just have like a sounds like I'm glazing up. I have a deep connection with Kobe Bryant. Don't want to get too much into it. It's just, you know, growing up, you see like the allegations, and it's always something that lingers in the back of your mind, like, wow. And then, you know, he died, and then all, like, every problematic celebrity or celebrities with problems hailed in their field. If they die early, then they're just regarded as like a legend immediately. So it's kind of like a tricky spot to talk about him, like, don't beat this dead horse again, blah 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 blah. But then again, he like did one of the most like worst things you could do as a human being. Like, there's Karl Malone, which people just trash on incessantly, for deservedly, for a good reason. Like, he did extremely horrible stuff. It's kind of different with Kobe Bryant, because Karl Malone, like, people like, I don't give a swag about, but Kobe was so influential in basketball. So a lot of people, especially because he has like an insane fan base, just look past that mentality. Sorry. And he did a lot of great things too. He's like, he helped out the youth a lot, but also like he's kind of a dickhead, like shoving anyone who doesn't have that Mamba mentality out. I remember that time with like Jeremy Lin, where Jeremy Lin was like shooting Linsanity, and then like Kobe made him explain and whatnot. Like, that's the thing with Kobe. He has like such a big ego, and that's why a lot of people like really love Kobe, because they inspire him to like be better in a way. But man, if Kobe didn't have like a major thing, he'd be undeniably as the greatest of all time. But nowadays though, people, especially on the Circle Jerk Reddit, just like clown on him. And honestly, it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know. It's like a tricky case. Like, at one point, you want to like really respect him and hail him as like the basketball legend he is. But at the same time, it's like, how well do you really know him? Like, they say the saying, don't ever meet your heroes. And I think that just like rings true. The more you grow up, I guess, you'll see people as just like flawed human beings, and how much that flaws goes, like, it can ruin an image entirely in a way. Like, even if they, and also adds to the thing of forgiveness. How far do you go to forgive? You know, like what can you forgive and what can you not forgive? And what makes the whole Kobe situation really easy to sweep for a lot of people is like, there's no associated person or victim. Like, she never came out. I don't think I'm pretty sure she never came out. Like, there's no face associated, like, widespread, like some other cases. So it's hard to, like, pin it as, like, a problem for a lot of people. So, yeah, I just got, like, really down talking about him. Trust me, I really did love him a lot growing up, but it's tough. And that's what you look at. That's what, throughout the entire video, that's what I felt like going through a lot of these people. And that's what kind of draws me out of loving the NBA and WWE so much, like growing too attached to people, because you never know what they're like behind the scenes. You never know what they're like outside. So I mean, for a lot of people, it's just best to like praise them for what they do in the ring and in the court. And I kind of don't want to be like a whole like superiority complex. Like, it's just a dumb circus meant to keep the public busy. Bread and circuses. Don't look into it. Don't think more than it is. Just watch the cool moments. Watch the cool highlights. Be entertained. But I want to do that. At the same time, I can't. But I can. You know? I guess that's why I made this whole video about, I wanted to express the good stuff. But as you'll see throughout the entire, well, rewatching it, I really did. I can really feel like, man, I do love this stuff. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like I gotta explain myself at every corner. Like, oh yeah, I know about this. Like, I'm trying to be as ethical as possible. You know, like, I'm just not that person, I guess. I'm just a dumb, stupid, normal person like everyone else, and try not to judge too hard on everything. It's, man, this is gonna sound bad for my next video. I already planned my next video. I hope it's good. I'm pretty sure it will be. But it's kind of like, maybe a little hypocritical what I'm about to say, but I'm glad for you sticking this far in the video. I don't mean to sound too tired. I always sound tired at the end of these videos, like, but trust me, it's a lot of work, but I love doing this. You really, if you're here, you really mean the world to me, so thank you. But I want to close it on a positive note. It's like, there's something inspirational in watching the two, NBA and WWE, that makes it impossible to hate. Storylines and characters larger than life, remembered for generations. But I don't even watch the sports. I'm just here for the highlights. So yeah, I don't know. Next time maybe I'll talk more about the women's side, because there's a lot more. But yeah, thanks for sticking by. Hope to see you again.
Melty cheese.